Catherine Perkins hosted her program from inside the bus, where her guest was Iowa State political science professor Steffen Schmidt. They were joined on the phone by New Hampshire political commentator Arnie Arnesen. They talk about the current field of presidential candidates and take questions from listeners. This is 45 Minutes.
This is Talk of Iowa for Monday, January 22nd. I'm Catherine Perkins. Good morning and welcome. We're on the C-SPAN Campaign 2008 bus this morning for the program. The bus is on its Road to the White House tour and made its debut in Iowa this weekend with the first broadcast of Road to the White House live from the State House steps last night. We're going to learn more about plans for this mobile TV studio in just a few minutes. We'll spend the rest of the hour talking presidential politics with Dr. Politics. Iowa State University political science professor Steffen Schmidt will help us handicap the field of presidential hopefuls 1 year out from the Iowa caucuses. New Hampshire political analyst Arnie Arnesen is also with us to lend an East Coast and lead-off primary perspective to the conversation. We also want you to join in the conversation with comments or questions at 1-800-262-0640. That's 1-800-262-0640. Stephen Roth is the marketing manager for C-SPAN, and he joins me on the phone to tell us more about our mobile studio for the program today. Hello, Steve.
Hi, Catherine.
Thanks, and welcome to the program.
Thanks so much.
Thank you also for the use of these fine facilities. We appreciate it.
Well, you're welcome.
Tell me about the bus. How's it going to be used on the presidential campaign trail?
Well, as I hope a lot of folks in Iowa who are listening saw last night, we're going to try to use it from time to time as a mobile studio to put us on location in places like the Iowa State Capitol. And we want to do that throughout the next 2 years as we travel all around the country. And at the same time, we want to use it as a way to reach out to viewers and citizens across the country to make sure they know the way we cover the presidential campaign and all the different resources that are available to people at C-SPAN.
So what are C-SPAN's plans for coverage of the presidential race? What kinds of plans are you making now?
Well, we've been covering the race, or the beginnings of the race, since the last presidential election ended.
It starts earlier and earlier, doesn't it?
Well, it does for us. I mean, we call ourselves the political network of record, and I think we earned that title by covering politics really more comprehensively than just about any outlet in media. We do it 24 hours a day, whether we're showing live proceedings from the Senate or following candidates as they trudge up to Iowa in January 2 years out. So the way we cover a campaign really is comprehensively and also long form. In other words, we show candidate speeches and events and campaigning really in its entirety. And we try to do so in a somewhat intimate and spontaneous way as well, following candidates around as they visit coffee shops and shake voters' hands and even go into homes and living rooms in Iowa to try to give a different perspective of the candidate and so viewers can kind of see them from a different angle.
How many people are dedicated to this task over the coming year?
How many?
Mm-hmm.
Well, in one way or another, each of the 250 people that works for C-SPAN is somehow involved and dedicated to it, because really for us, presidential politics is our Super Bowl, our Olympics. So just about everyone will get involved. In terms of the actual editorial and television production, it's a dozen to 20 to 30 people, depending on the event, depending on the program. But we're a lean, mean shop.
We know how that works.
Yeah. We've got to make use of just about every resource we have.
Well, we know how that works in public radio. Why did you want to bring this bus to Iowa for the launch?
Well, because we thought Iowa was a terrifically symbolic place to be to launch a presidential campaign, or Campaign 08 bus, as we call it. And we thought the timing worked well because here we are almost exactly 1 year out from the Iowa caucuses, and we just thought it would be a nice way to introduce the bus to really people who are already thinking about the presidential campaign and do it in a state and a city that's symbolically and obviously substantively important to presidential politics.
So here you are in our parking lot. Where do you go from here? What stops do you have on the tour today?
Well, we've got a couple things today. Well, obviously, we're visiting with you and hosting the show, and then we're going to head back down to Des Moines and be at the Capitol. Our good friends at MediaCom in Iowa, who carry both our networks throughout their service area. They've really set up a lot of great events for us this week, and we're working with them at a open reception at the State House from 2:30 to 6 this afternoon. And it's open to the public, it's open to legislators, it's open to anyone in the area that wants to come by and kind of visit with the bus and see it. And then tomorrow we're excited because we're going to be at Johnston Senior High School with Jackie Norris's AP Government students. We are going to actually have students calling into our morning program, Washington Journal, throughout the 8 to 8:45 hour. And then finally, we're going to finish up our Iowa tour, brief Iowa tour at Drake University tomorrow afternoon from about 12:30 to 5, hosting not only students and classes, but also we hope to visit with the young Republicans and young Democrats to hear how they're gearing up for the 08 campaign.
Okay, well, Steve, thanks so much for talking with me today. I appreciate your time.
You're welcome. Enjoy the show.
We will, and thanks
Enjoy the bus.
Yeah, thanks for letting us use the bus for our broadcast today.
Very
Appreciate
welcome.
it.
Thanks, Catherine.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Stephen Roth is the marketing manager for C-SPAN. Well, let's get to the